Now let's send it down to Brandon Parker and Ryan Dittrick for tonight's Flames TV postgame show presented by Original 16.
All right, Flames postgame live brought to you by Original 16 is on the air. It's the Calgary Flames and Seattle Kraken heading into the Four Nations face-off break tonight. And unfortunately for the home side, a late lead turns into a late loss. 3-2 the final. The Kraken end up getting the victory in overtime. And what will be and what sounded like in the bowl was a disputed penalty that ends up leading to the overtime winner. But nevertheless, it's a Kraken come-from-behind victory with a pair of goals in the third period, and they get the win here tonight in what was, a pretty well-played game throughout most of this, pretty evenly played, but the Flames had themselves in a pretty good position in the third period here.
Yeah, late in the third period, you definitely want to close things out when you have a 2-0 lead, especially on home ice. And that's kind of symbolic of how the game went. I thought for about 50 minutes of this game, the Flames did a lot of things well, and this was in full control. But, you could sort of get a sense that was a good third period push from Seattle overall. But once they got that first one, you could see they started to get some life. And the second one for the Kraken came off a bit of a turnover, so a tough break there. But, they came. They came in that third period hard, and for the Flames, they were just unable to kind of match the speed and maybe the pace that the Kraken bought. And, obviously we're going to talk about it a little bit more as we get through the show here tonight. But in overtime, tough call on Morgan Frost that about 19,289 weren't fond of out there. So it cost the Flames the extra point on this night.
Well, and we will take a look at that. And, maybe first let's go through the goals on this night. And what, as we talked about, was a pretty tightly played hockey game. And there weren't a lot of high-end opportunities trading back and forth by any means, but when they got their opportunities, Morgan Frost had this first one on the 2-on-1 and then ends up marrying his second as a member of the Calgary Flames.
He scored last week in Seattle, and he told Ryan Leslie at that point that he doesn't have the hardest shot, but I disagree. That's a couple of snipes now that he has in a Flames uniform, and, just a great rush off the ice. Mackenzie Weegar picks up the assist with a little bank pass off the wall, really capitalizing on what was a pretty terrible pinch by the Kraken to create that 2-on-1, and I love the edge work from Morgan Frost there in the neutral zone. I'd love to learn a little bit more about that, but a great shot to finish it.
Opened it up a couple of times and then opened up the shot, and he's got 13 on the season. And this, in the third period, the Flames get a little insurance and some pretty nice work just to gain the zone by Nazem Kadri originally, and then it was the pass from Jonathan Huberdeau.
Yeah, the lines have been in flux these last few weeks, but a real constant with Jonathan Huberdeau and Nazem Kadri. Kadri had the puck on a string, as you'll see here, for a good portion of this shift. Some great chemistry developing there with Matt Coronado jumping on the top line tonight, but this is all Huberdeau. Skating into traffic, opening up some space, and that's a pinpoint backhand pass. You love how Kadri kind of parts the seas there and finds the open space, just guides it home.
Well, you feel like you're in a pretty good spot at this point, up 2-0, past the midway mark of the third period. But here's where the Kraken get a little bit more of their life, and it starts with Shane Wright, who's kind of Johnny on the spot, and a puck that ends up hitting some traffic and ends up right on his stick. And Wright deposits the goal and the life for Kraken. Yeah,
nothing fancy here at all. Adam Larson with the point shot, but he puts it in a good spot. The rebound pops right out to Shane Wright, and there's chaos in front of the net. Dustin Wolf has to kind of peek around the traffic a little bit, just unable to get it.
So this makes it 2-1, and obviously the Flames go into fight or flight mode at the end of this third period, and get another look at the Shane Wright goal that ends up beating Dustin Wolf. But here's the opportunity then that's spun by the Kraken, and obviously hard on the forecheck, and it's actually Shane Wright that creates the turnover, and Andre Burakovsky that takes the credit.
Real tough break there for Jonathan Huberdeau. He's doing the right thing by covering for the pinching D back there, but in this situation, recognizing the time in the game and the score as well, you really just have to kind of live to play another day, and he's looking to make the perfect pass when I think in that situation, probably something a little bit of a simpler play would have benefited the Flames. You don't want to have your pocket picked in a situation like that.
So we don't see the penalty, but here's the result. It's the power play, and the Kraken end up working it around, and it goes off the stick of Matty Beniers, and he has some help with some traffic in front. Jaden Schwartz provides the screen, but it's a perfectly placed shot by Beniers, who gets the game winner.
Yeah, and we know he's got an excellent shot. He had a few looks tonight too that Dustin Wolf got the better of him for, but just a good situation here on the power play. 4-on-3, tough to defend. Circles the zone, really looking for that lane, but what he does is set up that perfect screen by Jaden Schwartz. Jumps in the air. There's really no chance for Dustin Wolf, even if he's looking around the traffic to find that one. But it does take an elite shooter to beat him, and that's what we saw there.
So Beniers gets the game winner, and if we could, we'll hear some reaction here quickly. Let's show you, if we can, guys, if we can cue up that Morgan Frost penalty, and maybe just some of, obviously we heard the fact that the crowd didn't agree with it, and instantaneously, but it felt like pretty good positioning on the back check, and obviously a great effort by Morgan Frost to get back there, but Dunn tries to kind of kick that backwards, the pass, and it ends up hitting him.
It's real tough. Yeah, you don't see it at all. And the other thing, too, is you would understand the situation if the officials are thinking this is a quality scoring chance. But the Flames had all three back, including Frost.
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily taking anything away, but you like the body position. He did take that free hand for a moment, but he established the position with the rest of his body, got the stick in there, not up high on the hips.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what was, and in particular, since we saw a missed call on the Flames late in the third period on Dryden Hunt that sort of drew the ire of the Flames bench too, you factor that into the equation and you can understand some of the frustration on this side.
Yeah, he got clipped on his own entry, kind of chipped the puck in and then end up getting taken out, which, I guess you could look at an interference trip. Either way, that's the way that the call goes. Well, I'm sure it'll come up inside the room and to the head coach as well, but that's the situation and that's the end result. The Flames do get the single point, but that's as much as they would obtain here tonight as they fall a little bit further back in the wild card standings. Let's hear from Mackenzie Weegar inside the room now. Had a big night, had an incredible sequence in the first period, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about coming up after we hear from him, but here's Mackenzie Weegar now.
Sum up that one.
Probably just what you guys saw, let that one, piss that one away. So that one's a tough one to swallow before the break, especially another big 2 points. I felt like even get one there, doesn't matter. There was 2 points for us there to take, and we didn't get it.
Is there a common theme? I think you've lost 2 of the past 8, Mackenzie. Is there a common theme during that stretch of struggles?
No, I'm just kind of focused on this past game. I don't really. I move on pretty quick. I couldn't tell you what we were the last 10 games, but all I know is that last 7-8 minutes there cost us.
And generally, that's been one of your strengths this year, this team, shutting the door.
Yeah, that would have been great. We had an opportunity there to go into the break feeling great. And, this is the NHL. I think if there's one thing that we could all learn, that, there's not going to be a team to, back down and just fold. So, that's the one thing we can take away. But that's tough. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed off right now, so it's tough.
At what point did you, and maybe you didn't, but was there a point in the third you thought your group got away from its game?
Just those 2 goals, I don't know if we got complacent or we thought, the last, 7 or whatever minutes it was just going to be easy. And, we were just going to keep rolling the lines and, see what happens. I don't know, but something obviously got away from us there. You got to take care of that puck. Like I said, it's the NHL, teams aren't going to fold.
How would you describe the early moment on that kill with your buddies trying to help you get back to the bench there?
Yeah, that's part of the game. I don't know. I don't care about that right now. Sorry.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you can see and feel the disappointment from Mackenzie Weegar. This was the sequence that was going on in the first period on a 5-on-3, and he blocks the shot with his foot, but the blade explodes out of there. And as we know, there's probably no more helpless feeling in the NHL than when you have no blade and can't get. But back to the bench, get some help. Rasmus Andersson, Michael Backlund, the push, but the agility to get the second half of it. I mean, there's the blade.
That's impressive. And he told you after the period that that's the youth skating lessons being put to work there. We all learned it, some of us with greater success than others, but good to see it paid off there.
This was another brilliant part of it, too. They're still the 5-on-3.
This is after.
So Backlund gets kicked out. Weegar and Rasmus Andersson look at each other and go, I'll take it. No, I'll take it. They rock, paper, scissors almost for it. Weegar gets it, but he also expressed some disappointment on the result of this face-off, and you can kind of see it little bit of a stick slam there afterwards. I thought he thought he was going to win it, but they killed off the penalty, which was the most important part of the sequence, and those killers did an incredible job. Once again, backstopped by Dustin Wolf through that sequence.
He also quickly looked up at Matty Beniers as if, like, oh, did I look at this guy's tape this morning as I was looking at the face-off footage? Probably not, but you'll have the intensity from Mackenzie Weegar. And you know what? On a night when, unfortunately, Team Canada named the replacement for Alex Pietrangelo and Mackenzie Weegar was not it, probably deserved to based on how he's played these last couple of weeks. I thought he was fantastic again. You heard him own, obviously, his portion of the game tonight, but regularly playing north of 25 minutes right now, especially in the absence of Kevin Ball. Penalty kill, face-offs apparently, offensively. He's kind of doing it all for the Flames these days. Yeah,
I was just looking at it, over 25 minutes again here tonight. I think he's averaged just shy of 25 over the course of the last 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks. He's been a monster for them, and obviously a huge part of it. And the competitor in him is why he's, as he said, as pissed off as he is right now. And, doesn't matter if there was that fun stuff in the first or the 2-goal lead. It's just the result that drives these guys nuts, and they wanted the 2 points here tonight.
Well, absolutely, and you hate it because you're probably a little bit aware, too, that the Vancouver Canucks won tonight. So now you're going into the break not only with a loss, but you're falling just a little bit farther away from that playoff cut line. So now they have a couple of weeks to think about that. And this homestand, even we disregard the one-off to Seattle last week, 6 of the last 7 here on home ice. It hasn't gone the way that they probably would have liked it to, especially for a team that's been as good as they have here at the Saddle Dome this year. But, we've observed it. It's 10 games in 17 days for this team that they just wrapped up. There's guys, playing banged up as teams all around the league are, but it really feels like this break is coming at a good time for everybody.
For sure. All right, let's hear from Morgan Frost now. He gets his second as a Flame, but first inside the Scotiabank Saddledome, and got the crowd on their feet early in this hockey game. Let's hear from Morgan now.
Can we assume you disagreed with the penalty call?
I don't like to say anything bad about the refs ever, but I thought it was pretty weak, so at the same time, probably shouldn't have chased him behind the net. I just thought I thought he was out there for a while and I was fresh, so if he was going to step out, I'd be able to catch him, and I thought I did a good job of that at first, and then felt like he kind of slowed down, and I guess it was a bit of a light wrap, but I disagreed, I guess.
Any sense on where this game got away from you guys?
That's a tough one to pinpoint. I thought we played a great game, to be honest, overall. Up until they scored that first one, it felt like they were kind of getting nothing, and we were doing all the little things right. And that's hockey for you. The momentum shifts, and then they come back. And unfortunate. No matter bad call, good call, I can't take a penalty in overtime. So that's on me.
How difficult is it to sort of fritter one away in that fashion right before a break?
It's not ideal, obviously. Kind of been struggling here for the last couple of games, and that would have been a big one. So take the point, get some rest here, come back, and every game's so important now. So just got to forget about it. It's a tough one. Got to figure out a way to close out games, though.
You and Joel, when you played together a ton in Philly, what was it like playing together on a line?
It's fun. He's my best friend, so we have fun on the bench, and I think we can read off each other well. We're fine with giving each other criticism when it's needed. It's not personal, and it's a lot of fun. I thought Sharky played a great game too, also.
I guess was Joel okay with you taking the shot in that situation, or were you hoping for the pass?
He'll probably tell me after that he wanted it, but I've usually almost always been a pass first guy, but I felt like there was just too much room there to pass up a shot. So luckily it went in.
Is that purposeful? You had pretty much had the same location the last goal you scored before the week. Was that intentional?
Not really. Like I said, I just felt like there was a lot of room, and the fact that I could kind of drag it to the middle, it felt like the right place to shoot. So like I said, fortunate it went in, but obviously would rather get the win here.
Okay, Morgan, thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right, here's a look at Morgan Frost. You heard the comparison of his first goal, and that's exactly what we're going to show you right now, because his first is a Flame against this very team just less than a week ago, Sunday night in Seattle, and the spot probably pretty similar, but the finish looked pretty good on both ends.
Yeah, not too bad. And, this just looks like a player right now that is confident. He loves to have the puck on his stick. He's added a real speed element to the Flames forward corps too, which you love to see because this team doesn't have a ton of burners on it. Interestingly, though, Morgan Frost, Joel Farabee didn't play together a lot in Philadelphia, but best buddies, as we can tell. They're on after hours here behind us, so inseparable that way. But clearly, guys who have skated in the past and have built some chemistry over time, you could see it tonight. There's some tricky offensive stuff happening there, and you know what? I love to watch Morgan Frost right now skate. He's carrying the puck through the neutral zone, and as we saw in each of his goals, he's attacking the defenseman, and that's what, for a team that's starved a little bit for offense, that's what you need to start to do off the rush, is start to push everybody back and put pucks on net, and so far it's paying dividends.
Guy told me just in between periods there he was enjoying the bench chatter, especially just Bees, as he said, enjoyed having him on the bench and just talking things out as they went along, and obviously they're chatting it up and chopping it up right now on after hours as well. All right, let's go back inside the room. Let's hear from Jonathan Huberdeau here to round out our interviews from the locker room.
Thanks, Jonathan. Like, what'd you see there when you were stripped of the puck? Can you walk us through that?
Probably everybody saw it. I think the guy just stripped me and scored, and it's a bad timing. It's just unacceptable, especially much needed win. So that's tough. That's on me. So I just gotta, it sucks going into the break like this, but it's hockey. It's a mistake, but that's a costly mistake, and that's just gotta get through it and come back and get some more. It's
that last 7 minutes or so. Was it what they did, what you didn't do, a combination? How did it sort of turn on you?
They put pressure, but I don't know. Not really an answer. Still, it just sucks to get. We needed these 2 points, and I don't really thought about what happened in the third. It's just, it is what it is, and just enjoy the break and come back.
Don't you have the risk, Jonathan, when it's just a 2-goal lead, the team hasn't been able to get kind of to 3 or 4 goals, and then when you get your team hanging around, that's kind of a risk that can happen?
Yeah, it is, but I feel like we're pretty used to having 2-goal lead or 1-goal lead and kind of shut that down. So, we haven't been a team that scored a lot of goals, so I think with 2 goals we should be able to keep that lead.
Jonathan, it seems like you guys have been on the bad luck end of a couple of overtime calls this season. And what did you think of that call on Frost there?
Yeah, I think it was soft, so I don't think it was a penalty, but that's how it is. And they complained right before it, and then after they got their call.
Understanding it's all kind of fresh tonight, but big picture, how do you feel about where this group is going into the break?
It was still right there. It would have been nice, like I said, to get the 2 points, but if we look ahead, we're going to have a lot of time to think about it. But, we just got to come back and play a little harder and some more push. And I think the last stretch is going to be huge. And just put ourselves in a spot that, the last 5-10 games, we're in a spot that we can battle to get into the playoffs.
Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, sir.
Cheers to another season of great times and great taste. Celebrate things done well. Original 16, official beer sponsor of the Calgary Flames. Must be legal drinking age.
All right, our Flames postgame live presented by Original 16. The Seattle Kraken 3-2 overtime winners over the Calgary Flames in the final game before the Four Nations break. And that's what's upcoming, a little downtime and much needed, much deserved for both teams, but specifically the Calgary Flames who get that opportunity now. Aside from Rasmus Anderson, of course, and a couple members of the staff as well. Ken Kabelka, team physician, as well as Dr. Ian Auld, and our PR director, Sean Kelso, also going off to Four Nations as well, representing Team Canada. Before we park for that, let's get our final reaction from tonight's hockey game and hear from the head coach, Ryan Huska.
What happened in the last 10 minutes there?
Well, there was nothing really going on. We were actually playing a pretty good game until then. I thought we made a couple poor plays on breakout attempts on that first goal. one initially when the puck was put in the zone and one when we were in coverage behind the net. And then they capitalized on a turnover that we made, and then anyways they found a way to win in overtime.
What do you think of that overtime goal? You guys have been on the bad luck end of a couple in overtime this season.
Bad luck?
Yeah, just even earlier in the season, like what do you think of the goal, the overtime penalty tonight?
I thought it was a soft call, but it's on us for even being in that situation. So it's hard to. We shouldn't have been in overtime tonight. That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
You guys, teams often talk about after a real tough loss like this that they can turn it around a day later or 2 days later. You got 2 weeks to sit on this. How much harder is it to do that?
I don't think it's going to be that much harder, to be quite honest with you. These players deserve their time away right now. They've done a lot of great things to this point. We let one get away from us tonight, which we haven't done a lot of over the course of the year, and I think our guys will use this time to their advantage to get re-energized and refocused and ready for a big stretch of games coming back after the break.
What did you think of your group's performance in that 5-on-3 early in the game?
I thought they were very good. Yeah, that was a lengthy 5-on-3. We talked about that this morning, that we've had a lot of them, but we haven't had to kill too many lately. But I thought our guys did a good job. A lot of guys blocking shots there.
Ryan, you mentioned the term re-energized. Are you sensing any fatigue in the last little stretch here?
Yep, this was a tough stretch for us, 10 games in 17 nights with some travel mixed in there. So every team goes through it. I mean, there's portions of this schedule that are a little bit compressed because of this break that is coming up here. I thought for the most part the guys handled it well. I thought we had a lot of energy tonight until the game got away from us late. But I do think it's coming at the right time for us to try to re-energize, I guess is the word I would say.
I think 3 out now, like big picture, do you want these guys to be proud of where they put themselves?
Hey, they've done a lot of good things, but we got a long ways to go. That's, I guess, what I would like them to go into the break with, that we come back and if we have good efforts the way we know how to play, that's still right there in our grasp. So we just have to make sure we're committed to doing that.
I know it's not about individual stuff tonight, but it was announced to be Dowdy to the Four Nations. Are you disappointed for Mackenzie at all?
Sure. It's something that I know he would have loved to have gone to, and I think it would have been a good experience for him, one as a player, but also for our team, having another guy coming back with the experience of playing with and being around the best players in the world. So it's too bad I didn't know that. Yeah.
Nearly 20 minutes for Solovyov tonight. What did you think of his performance?
I thought Ilya did a good job tonight. Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you. Enjoy your break.
Thanks. You guys too.
Come on, showtime.
Right, fella, eh? Sasaki, we got him. We got him swinging. Right. Let's earn our paychecks today. Right. This simple early one, just simple. Get it all, get it in. And just roll. Be a shooter, huh? Be a shooter. Sniper, baby. Don't shoot, we don't score. Come on, boys, let's go, let's go, let's go. Forward check, back check, shoot. Boom.
Don't let anybody behind you, man. Ah! Good job, good job. Boy Miro. Boy Miro. Boy Miro. Right. Right. Watch wide. Okay. Breaks in, partial break, shoots, stopped by Wolf. Over Ehlers, 2-on-1, Ehlers shoots, and it's stopped by Wolf. Bounds down, a puck goes to Cordo, shoots and scores! There it is! Joke, man. Are you flipping kidding me? You high stick me in the flipping face, you flipping dummy. Like, you're a flipping joke. He doesn't swear, eh? I thought I heard that.
One of the better mic'd up clips we've had this season so far. Another episode of The Chase debuted yesterday on our YouTube. You can check it out now, but you love it when good things catch on, because that was a sign spotted inside the dome tonight. Pahal is flipping awesome, and that was a flipping great sequence captured against the Winnipeg Jets. And I love that. Love that.
Yeah, it really made the job for the guy who writes the subtitles very easy there, which I appreciate. So no censoring necessary on that end either.
Yeah, that's right. Good call. Yeah, hilarious sequence, obviously, and also just leads us to our point that we got some downtime in between games, so why not head over to the Calgary Flames YouTube and check out episode 7, obviously, but if you haven't seen other episodes of the Chase, now would be a good time to watch and binge them all, right from start to finish, which I know Derek Wills, play-by-play voice on radio, he committed to doing already, so I'm waiting to hear his report back following the break.
That and Severance, that's what I'm going to be watching. I haven't seen the latest yet, so no spoilers.
So
don't spoil the Chase either.
Yeah,
I don't know how it ends.
I won't. Well, neither do I, and that is the beauty of the Chase, which we hope to have a couple more episodes to share with you as the season rolls along. But it is up on our Calgary Flames YouTube right now, so go check it out. And there's no excuse now. There's no games for at least 2 weeks, so have at it. That does it for us. The next upcoming schedule for the Calgary Flames is quiet for 2 weeks. The Four Nations face-off drops the puck early next week or middle of next week, and Rasmus Andersson will be the one player that's involved playing for Team Sweden. As for the Calgary Flames, the rest get a much-deserved break, and it commences now here inside the Scotiabank Saddledome following a 3-2 loss at the hands of the Seattle Kraken. There's your next home date and the next game, Sunday, February 23rd against the San Jose Sharks. After that, it's the longest road trip of the season. So get your rest now, because the stretch drive commences in late February for the Calgary Flames as they make their push for the playoffs. Thanks for watching Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Original 16. We'll see you on February 23rd.